Hey everyone, welcome to another edition of the Spiritual Medicine Digest. I'm Dr. Karen, and I'm in Toronto. Yay! Kind of feel like I'm home, although Lake Placid is my home. This is like my second home, or where I grew up. Oakville, Ontario is where I grew up. So I was just here at the Wellness Leadership Academy's immersion, where we were shown how to create an event that impacts other people's lives, and it was such amazing learning. And I think the best part is really connecting with my mentors, and then connecting with my fellow master's students, and just meeting naturopaths, holistic nutritionists, and acupuncturists and therapists. And I mean, it's amazing, and they're all making a big difference, and they're all wanting to up their game. So it's been an incredibly inspiring week here, and I'm still here for the weekend for the Wellness Leadership Revolution. And by the way, if you are a wellness practitioner and you are kind of at that point in your career where you're like, okay, I'm getting a little tired, I'm really busy, or maybe you're not busy enough, and you feel like there's something more, you feel like there's a better way to deliver your magic and your message versus just like one-on-one, which is where I got to, because I kept saying the same things over and over and over again to multiple different people, and I thought, well, there must be a faster way to do this. And my lifestyle was such that I was so busy, it was really hard to squeeze in what I love to do in visiting family and things like that. So now, training with the Wellness Leadership Academy, and my other coaches have helped me as well up to this point. It's really about expanding my magic and message to as many people as possible, those that are ready and willing to shift gears. I can't tell you how much freedom it is doing it this way versus just one-on-one, just having groups and, connecting with more of my tribe. It's been incredibly exciting. So I highly encourage you to check them out. And if you are in the Toronto area, if you are in the San Diego area, if you're in the Sydney, Perth area, especially, let me know, because I can get you free tickets to the Wellness Revolution event. You can tag me on Facebook, you can message me on Facebook, or even just go to mykarencan.com/contact the page and just say, hey, I'm a wellness practitioner. I would love to know more about how to impact more lives while working smarter, not harder. Maybe having a life. Let me know, and I will give you the code to get a free ticket to the weekend event. It's a 2-day event. You'll learn a ton of stuff, and you literally leave there with your message, like who you are and who you're there to serve, and it's incredibly powerful. So a couple of things for this week. On the trip here, I have been listening to an ebook called Zero Limits by Joe Vitale and Dr. H.Lin, and his name's a lot longer, but it's hard to pronounce. He's Hawaiian, about the Ho'oponopono method. And if you have heard about this, it's so funny how much it resonates with me, and I heard about it, I heard about the gist of it, but I wanted to know more about it. And so I know Joe Vitale from, The Secret, the movie The Secret, and some of his other books, and I thought, well, Joe's a great writer, so I'm going to go ahead and check out his book. And so I'm listening to this book, and so much is resonating with me. And you know what? If you're a sensitive soul, I bet you were taught this. So is it true that at some point in your development, spiritual development, you realized that you were taking on other people's stuff, and that you maybe feel burdened or overwhelmed, sometimes not knowing what your stuff is, what other people's stuff is. You feel other stuff, it's really hurtful, it's painful, and here I am, Light Warrior Training, sharing with you, hey, your sensitivity is your superpower, but then you're like, well, how do I use it? It's like overwhelming, right? And so part of what you may have learned is like, hey, we need to have healthy boundaries, right? That's their stuff. This is my stuff. Let me deal with my stuff. If I don't have to deal with your stuff, so that's the stuff we, have been learning, to have healthy boundaries. And that's really important in the 3D physical world. And, the Ho'oponopono is a concept that goes further. So like, in one sense, we're like overly sensitive and we're dealing with other people's stuff that may or may not be our quote unquote job in this timeline to deal with. Okay. And so we get overwhelmed. We don't get to do our magic and what we're here to do because we're so overburdened by all these other energies we can't process. And then when we get to that point, we're like, okay, I'm discerning my stuff and their stuff. And, and then Ho'oponopono takes it almost all the way back around the circle and says, well, actually, because we project from ourselves our whole reality, we are just the projector. Every single problem out there, every single pain, every single hurt, everything that is unbalanced and unhappy is actually our responsibility. And you're like, whoa, how can that be my responsibility? I just gave up responsibility for other people's stuff that I was responsible for all my life, and I'm so tired of being responsible for it, right? So just hear me out. So if we are able to, manifest what we want, then we really are, in the deepest sense, fully 100% responsible for everything we see out here, because there is no out there, right? Everything comes from in here. So if you're in pain, it's my responsibility. If I'm in pain, it's your responsibility. But that does not mean you have to suffer, here's the key, suffer, from, feeling other people's symptoms when it's not, necessary to do that. Or even feeling other pains. Now, sometimes it is necessary because we learn things and we can share it with other people, but a lot of times it isn't necessary. So with the Ho'oponopono method, we take responsibility for everything that we see out here, because once you know about it, it's your responsibility. That's the preset of, the Ho'oponopono. And then we say to the divine, I'm sorry. And that doesn't mean that you're a smaller person, you're a lesser person, you're a bad person, nothing like that. That I am sorry does not diminish you in any way. But it's a mantra, like I am sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you. And the I love you is so important because, as explained in the book, and please, go out and read the book. This is my, version of it. But as you release these shared, what Dr. H.Lin calls shared memories. Like if I am in the same experience as you, experiencing pain, that means I have a shared memory with you. Or in spiritual talk, I have a shared, morphic field with you, or imbalanced or negative morphic field with you. So let's go ahead and release it. So, if someone's in pain, you're like, I don't know what to do for them. I don't have any money. I don't have whatever. Then you can do Ho'oponopono and take responsibility for them having that experience, because that's a projection of you, and vice versa. And then you can do the work on yourself. So everything is about clearing and healing ourselves and our shared memories with that other person or whatever it is we see outside of us. So, I'm sorry. You say to the divine, thank you. I love you. Please forgive me. And it's like a mantra that you do over and over again. What's really interesting reading the book is that, Joe Vitale talks about how he wasn't really feeling it. He was just saying it, but not really feeling it yet. He didn't quite understand it. But even if you don't understand it fully, once you clear the memory, what happens is there's a void. And we talk about this in the Unlock Your Superpowers program. It's called the step called, clearing space in the manifestation cycle. So when this void appears, the universe and the divine then fills it with inspiration, high vibrational stuff, and things seem to happen magically for you without you even trying. There's forcing it, and then there's allowing. It's completely different. So I'm currently doing a 30-day challenge, which is the complain-free, blame-free, excuse-free challenge to really master my abilities to manifest. And we cannot be blaming or complaining and at the same time be fully empowered to manifest our destiny and what we really, really want. So I encourage you to join me for this 30-day complaining, blaming fast and see how you do. There's nothing wrong with giving people information, but there's a lot of times where we actually are so addicted to the drama that we kind of, give them like 10 pages of information instead of just what's really, really necessary. So I really appreciate those in the Light Warriors program, Light Warrior Network, really being more mindful of what they're posting now and thinking, well, gee, is what I'm posting going to scare people? Am I looking for a reaction or drama? Or is this just information to say, hey, I'm really feeling for, this situation. Can you please pray and send energy to it without the drama? And I really congratulate all of you who are really making an effort to do that, because the more empowered each of us are, we empower other people as well, right? Yes? So join me on this 30-day. I'd love for you to join me on this 30-day, no complaining, no blaming, and see what what springs out from your life. I'd love to know. So please let us know. So join us on the Light Warrior Network if you're not part of that already. So just go to Facebook and just type in Light Warrior Network and just ask to join. And my wonderful assistant Jacob will accept your application to be in the group, so you can be part of our group. The other thing I'm going to start doing, and you can do it as well if you want, is that every Wednesday in the Light Warrior Support Group and every Tuesday in the Light Warrior Network, we do like a prayer and healing request day. So this is a very powerful day because we get the whole group working on it. Now, in the Light Warrior Support Group on Wednesdays, what happens is that you put your request down, what you would like to heal, and then everyone sends their intentions to everybody's stuff, in that thread. And on Friday at 8 a.m. and 8 p.m., and or 8 p.m. In whatever time zone you are, we actually click play on our Ascension 1 and or Ascension 2, and we direct them to all the requests on that Wednesday. For that Wednesday. We do it on the Friday, but it's for the Wednesday requests. So that's very powerful. In fact, Lloyd said, he's one of our VIP group, that he put the request for his cat, and along with doing Topocan healing, was able to get the cat from having a tumor to no tumor. Like, how awesome is that? Like, yay. So they've been some amazing, amazing healings on there. Now, if you're part of the Tuesday Light Warrior Network, and you can do both, of course, if you're already, one of my students, the Tuesday is another opportunity to get prayer and healings there. We call it Prayer Tuesday. And so you can post there as well. And then as people post, we can send healing to each other and send prayers. Now, what I'm going to do, and you can do this as well, is that on the Wednesday and Tuesday posts, I'm going to do Ho'oponopono for me to clear whatever is in me that's causing that discomfort or illness in you or your family members or whatever it is. So if you'd like, you can join me on that. So I'm just doing it for time constraints, of course, doing it for those threads. So I highly recommend, if you're part of the private Light Warrior Support Group, to make sure that you put your request in the Wednesday healings every week, because we're going to get a little extra here. Ascension 1 and 2 and Ho'oponopono. Now, in the clearing spray, we actually have the frequencies and that sense of the divine. Ho'oponopono is in there. But obviously, if you focus on it and you do the work, it is so much more powerful. So I highly recommend that you do that. Cool? Now, Monday, I'm going to be traveling back from Canada, but before I do, I'm going to be doing a live interview on the radio show, Light Warrior Radio, with Eric Ward of footfoundation.com. And Eric I met at Adult National Figure Skating Competition, and I actually literally ignored his booth because, I figured I have orthotics. Like, why do I need to be checked for other orthotics? That's what I thought he did. I thought he did orthotics. So we're going to have this whole discussion with Eric about, he actually tested me on my orthotics, and we'll explain more on the show, but I was floored at the result that I got. And I was like, been doing this for 20-something years, and I've been doing it wrong. Isn't it amazing when you discover you do something wrong or not optimal for like 20-something years? You're like, oh, man. So I always tell people my beliefs change daily, weekly, minute to minute, based on new information. So there's the new information I'd love to share with you, because how many of you know somebody that wears orthotics? And how many of you know athletes that wear orthotics and may or may not be the best for you? And he's going to explain why it might not be for the highest and greatest good, at least for your physical body, to have orthotics. So it's and you can call in. This is going to be a live show. Yes, I'm going to stay in Toronto to finish the show before traveling back to Lake Placid on Monday. So join me live for the show, and you'll get an email if you're on my mailing list at KarenCan.com. with all the links and the reminders on Sunday, the day before. And if you're not part of my mailing list, would love for you to be part of it. I'd love to give gifts away and, announce free healings and mini healings and things like that. So you can just go to KarenCan.com/free gift and get the free gift and get on the mailing list. All right, guys, have a wonderful rest of the week and lots of love to you. Bye.